All right, welcome to this special presentation, the Business Results Syndicate. I'm your host, T. Allen Haynes. We've got a great presentation for you today, and I've got Donald Kubelka with us, and he's a very interesting fellow. He's been interested in and involved in starting businesses, publishing, and communications. He's also interested in computers and matters of faith, and he loves pushing the envelope. And what we're about to show you today is, in fact, pushing the envelope. And he loves, pushing the envelope of what is considered possible, and has invented several technologies which make that even easier than ever. He's also an author. He's a publisher, a programmer, and executive coach. He has degrees in government, psychology, and divinity. And most of all, he loves hanging out with his family and having deep discussions with his friends. And he's famous for his expando vision, and he can help you shift your paradigm to a whole new level. He currently resides in Pagosa Springs, Colorado, with his wife and family. Again, welcome to this special presentation. My name is T. Allen Haynes with the Business Results Syndicate, and most of you know me as the authority builder or the authority mentor. And what we're bringing to you today is an awesome opportunity for you to create content and to create a business with the push of a button, literally. And Donald's going to take us through step by step on what this is going to take, and then you'll have an opportunity at the end to participate in it. So, Donald, welcome to the program, and we're so excited about what you have to offer today.
Hey, thanks, T. Allen. It's a great day to be here. I'm excited to show people what we got, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, the show is yours. Take it away.
Okay, well, let's get into it. First question is, have you ever been told that your life story would make a great book or a movie? You ever wish you could get paid for some of your ideas and or life experiences? Ever have a great idea that you wanted to turn into a business? Well, we have a system that lets you do just that. Before I get into that, though, the question is, how much money, time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, as well as business smarts, does it take to make that happen? Well, I've done a survey, informal, and, to be able to turn your ideas and experiences into something that can actually pay you, I surveyed successful entrepreneurs. I'd go and I'd listen to them speak about stuff, and then afterwards in the question and answer time, I would always ask them the same question. And it didn't matter what business they were in, it didn't matter what level they were at. I always asked them the same question, and the interesting thing was I always got back the same answer. Question was, how long did it take and how much did it cost before they finally had their systems and team in place for their business to be able to run itself? And we would define that in terms of, if they asked, I'd say, well, if you left your business for 6 months and come back, would you have a thriving business that did better because you weren't there mucking things up, or would you have, a pile of ashes? And if they had a thriving business, then they actually had a business. If they didn't, they had a job that they were just working, that they, might have owned the job, but it was still just a job. Because the systems and the team, that's what you need to actually run the business, so that it's a business and an asset that'll grow for you. Well, you know what that answer was? That when they'd think about it, they'd pause, think for a few moments, and almost always come up with the same answer to that question. Remember the question, how long did it take them? How much did it cost? If you think about that for a few moments yourself, the answer they would almost always give, and it didn't matter what business they were in, it didn't matter whether they were, selling iced tea, or they were doing computer consulting, or they were doing something in between. Answer would always come back as about 5 years and over $250,000. 5 long years, $250,000. That's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. That's a lot of time and energy invested. My other question would always be, where'd they get that kind of money? Sometimes it might be family, sometimes it might be friends or investors, or they might have worked some other job to be paying for the business that they were creating. Well, I don't know about you, but I didn't have that kind of money. I didn't have that kind of time. I didn't want to take that much time because with each of the ideas that I had a lot of ideas. So let me show you what I came up with instead. I came up with a system that basically lets you fill out a form, push a button, and create the entire infrastructure for a business that you need. And that, my friends, doesn't take very long to do. It takes about 5 minutes to fill out the form that I came up with. It starts with, and I filled it out here so that when we go to give the demo, it would actually not take the 5 minutes, but as you can see, just answering questions that are pretty simple. What kind of people do you most want to spend your time thinking about and hanging out with? What would they call themselves as a group? What do they want more of? What would they want to trade or get rid of in exchange for that? So I've answered some of these, creative professionals, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs. They want more profit streams. They want to get rid of the problems. What would they be able to do, be, or have because of that? They want more money. And what would that mean to them? More free time. So, if we come up with a name for it, what would we call this system? The Power of Profit Project, or acronym or short nickname for the system could be POP. And if you're thinking about this for yourself, then you're going to think of your own questions and you're going to think of your own answers to these questions. And so what have we been talking about? I just said experience, and you can put a brief bio of yourself in there, just, short 1 or 3 sentences, and then what your story was in relation to the issue. And then you just put your contact info in there and hit the install button. Very simple. Like I said, it takes about 5 minutes. And then you get the next page where you get the link. And now we already created a full-blown business for you. As you can see, we're here on the demo page, which has links to lots of things. So let's just go through and see some of those. If you want to change the look and feel, if you don't like the look and feel, we can change that real quick here. And if there's some custom look and feel that you'd rather have, we can do that. You'll see I already changed the look. That quick, that easy. Let's try it again with a different one. And if you want a custom look or feel, then we have the power. We can do that. Just let us know. We can change it to whatever you want. And you got lots of different stuff here. I'm going to change it back to the first one just because I can. But it's that quick, that simple. And then you have a completely different look and feel again. If I go back a few pages here to our demo page where we started, then, a few things here. How are we going to get people to the site so they have a chance to buy what we're offering? Well, we could run a launch campaign. And we already have built in, here's how you go about doing the launches. Here's what's going to be included. Here's who's going to be, what we're going to be selling. Here's some of the key revenue streams that are already built into that. If we click on one of these other links here, you can see that we've already got a lot of stuff built in here for you. But let's say somebody comes to you and asks you what you do. Well, now you can simply tell them, or I would tell them, I create windows of opportunity to help people make more money so they can have more free time. When they ask me how I do that, I could say, well, I have what I call the Power of Profit Project, POPP for short, or POP for short. It allows me to guide people step by step along the same path I recently followed to learn how to turn my problems into profit streams. And again, you're going to have your own answers that you put on those questions that we saw before, and all that's going to be interpolated into this system. So instead of problems into profit streams, you might have experiences into books or something else, that whatever it is that you're looking to help people do. And it gives you the whole script here for what to say, so that when people ask, you can easily tell them. You also have, if you want a networking introduction, then here's the networking introduction already there. If you want the answering machine message, you got an answering machine message you could leave. If you want to talk to people and try and get their feedback, you can send out You could send out the photo sponsor request letter and ask them to be sponsors. And you see we already got the letter here. It's already written. It's already filled in with your information. In this case, it's got my information there, but that's because I was the one who answered the questions. But you would have your own information, and as you can see, there's a lot more here already built in. Let's say you want to reconnect with people that, let's push the right button. We'll push the right link. Say you want to reconnect with people that you haven't talked to for a long time and give them a free gift and let them know about your new system. Here it goes. It's already written. It's already done. Then you can go with this system. You could offer a free e-course. And we already have the e-course already put here, filled in with your information again. And it's all where it says, where you see like the first name in brackets, when we actually send that out to the person, their name is going to be put in there. So these are already templates here for them to do. You know, let's just pick one of these at random, and you can see that it's already got a lot of the stuff in there. What you're turning your problems into profit streams. You want more money. You want more free time. You know, and whatever else we're wanting to fill in there. And most of that's already done for you. You don't have to think about or worry about any of this. You could read through it, edit it, and it'll save it for you. When we click down here, you can see when do we want to send it. Okay, we'll send it out, you know, a certain number of seconds after the subscriber signed up. In this case, it's a couple days later. I think that's like day 4. But you could send it out on a specific day or time. So I could set that for Christmas if I wanted, or whatever time I wanted. And the person that signs up for my system automatically gets, or your system in this case, automatically gets the e-course sent to them. And as you can see, it's already got the day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could add more messages onto that if we wanted. You could put special offers in there. You could put extra stuff. Meanwhile, let me show you the page that they'd be clicking on, the landing page, to get that free e-course. That they'll land on a page like this, and they're going to learn secrets that whatever your target market was that you put in there, will never know about whatever it was that you put in as a topic. And they got some basic registration already there. It's already live. It already works. Yes, this is already legally compliant. We have the documentation here for the things like the anti-spam. So here's all the stuff about spam. And if you wanted to see, okay, we want to know about the DCMA compliance, because our nice federal government likes to have us have all this legal documentation that if not, the FTC will come stomp on you. But we've already got it, so you don't have to worry about it. And then you got your terms of service and conditions. So that's already written and filled in. You'll notice that there's places in here where it's got our company, which I called Power of Profit Project for this one, already filled out, already in there. So you don't have to think about it. If you put in whatever name you came up with for your project would be already put in there. Your system would already be put in there. So imagine how much time this saves you. Remember that 5 years to put all these systems in place? That's what we're looking at here. That 5 years got reduced down to what, 5 minutes to fill out the form? That, you know, if you were to have the time to go through and create all of these different systems. So, you know, hey, you got to create press releases. Well, here's a system that we got that would already create press releases for you. Let's say you wanted to do an affiliate program. Well, you got to be able to come up with the system for people to be able to have their links and be able to send them off. This is a system already built in, and their links are already built into this system. So if they signed up as an affiliate, so if T. Allen signed up as an affiliate of this Power Profit, and he logged in and clicked on the affiliate program, affiliate tools part, his links would already be embedded in this, so he wouldn't even have to think about it. He would just copy, paste, send it out, and then his stuff would already go out with his name, and his link, so when somebody clicked on it, he would be the one getting the credit for it. Imagine how long it would take you normally to set all this up for your own business. And we just set it up. Like I said, I've been talking now about how much we've already set up and giving you more of a demo than it took me to set everything up with this system. So that's just something to think about there. And then you look at, we got bonuses already and special offers. And so we have a whole marketplace built into this that'll be turning your ideas, things that you would answer, into products that can be sold. So that can be the e-course, that could be the book, that could be other special offers. You can, have a whole page where people can download crossover reports. They could raise their level of membership if they wanted. And these are already set. So let's say they wanted to go to elite membership. As you can see, we've already got an integration in with a payment processor. In this case, we're set up with PayPal, but yes, I could change it over to any of the other ones you want to use quickly and easily for you. We've got, with that marketplace, it's like an eBay where members in your site, and I should probably back up here a little bit. What we created for the infrastructure for the business is actually for an association or a club, like a fan club, if you will, or a group, because you want something that you can turn into cash almost immediately or as fast as possible and have it be something that's going to pay you on a regular basis and continue to grow over time and be a real valuable asset that you can turn around and sell. Remember, our definition of business was you had to be able to walk away from it for about 6 months and still have it running and still have it going. Well, with this system, it's already built to do that. As an association, as a group, people can opt in whenever they want to become free members of your association, and then they can opt in to be paid members or privileged members and pay you more money to just be a member of the group and to get some of the special benefits and stuff that are already in the group. They're already built in here. So if I go to the member profile page, as an example, this is a place where they can go and post what they want about themselves. So it's kind of like a mini Facebook built in here, where they can talk about themselves and they can see what's going on with their own stuff. And, they can have their own transactions, their own stuff in the marketplace. They can go and pay their special offers in the marketplace. So like if I go to the special offers page again, and if they place a special offer and they make it available to the other people in the group, then when somebody buys it, because they would buy it through this marketplace, through this system, you as the owner of the group would get a commission on that. Plus, it's already built in so that whoever referred that person as an affiliate gets a commission as well when somebody buys something through the system. So you could have 3 different options for your product. Yes, you can upload pictures. Kind of scrolling through this quickly, but you can see that it's pretty simple. You can, have the regular package. You can have an upgraded package. You can have a third one. You can answer a few questions in your sales letter. You get the headline. It's going to automatically post that now to the marketplace, which the users can go in and your members can go in and use. And again, they can be doing that while you're off doing something completely different, having nothing to do with the business. And you can have the systems and you can have the team running it for you. There's a forum on here. Let me show you that. It's already built in here, so they can be talking with each other. They could be downloading your books, your products. They could be, here's this one. Okay, so you can go to the forum, and they already got the posting policies. Now, some of this is still being fixed, so you may run into a little bit of issues. But on the other hand, you know that I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to get it taken care of. I and my team, so there's another way to get to the forum. And you'll see we've already got some starting posts in there, some starting questions and starting things to be talking about topics for people to start their discussions. So you can go in there and add stuff. You can go in there and continue. So like for this one, share your success with what you're doing here. And, we're going to be talking about, we're always interested in good testimonials. And you can share your testimonial. So they could be posting that. And this could be generating not only content, not only people in your system, but as you can see, it starts to become a very valuable asset that continues to grow over time. The more people that get involved, the more content they generate for you. So yes, you could do it as a once and done, set it and forget it, but at the same time, it could also turn into something that, because these are people that you like to deal with, you like to interact with. In my case, it'd be entrepreneurs and authors and creative people. I have another guy that he's interested in fishing. So he's setting up a site for people that are totally interested in fishing. And another guy is interested in hunting or golf or whatever the topic is that they're interested in. That's what the business would be about. That's what the association would be about. And so you'll see with this, we have, here's things that you could do if you wanted to run the business. You could drive traffic to the site. We have different ways of doing that already built in. You could add content or moderate the forum. You could conduct strategy calls. You could answer questions on the help desk. You can create additional products. You can keep in touch with your members through a newsletter, through other correspondence that we have built in already. There's lots of things that if you wanted to, you could jump in and be doing. And as much as possible, we have automated and systematized those different actions that you would need to do so as to free up more of your time, so that you would have time to basically go do whatever you wanted to do and spend your time interacting with the people, not having to sit there and do lots of administrivia type work. Or you could do nothing, or you could do some fraction thereof. And when I say nothing, we do have an option where we have team members that are already up and already trained that can take over and manage this business for you and run it for you, that they will be doing the stuff that's up here, driving the traffic and moderating the forums and handling the questions and answers for the people that will write in. Our team can take care of all that for you, so you don't have to do anything except sit back and enjoy the royalties when they come in. And if you don't want to do that, well, then you can designate those royalty streams to go wherever you want, and we can send them to wherever you want. If you want to start a different kind of business, let's say you say, okay, a forum is great, association is great, but I want to do a restaurant, or I want to do a manufacturing company. Well, we can help you make that happen as well, because in two ways. One is if you use one of these that automatically sets up the association of the group, you could be creating a market or tapping into a market that is already there and generating royalties and generating cash from the association of the group that you form from that market. And then that cash, because you can designate however you want those royalties to go or wherever you want to go, you can use it for whatever you want, including getting all the other stuff you need for your other business. Plus, what I haven't shown you here, but I have built in on the back end, there's a lot of stuff that's already built in for doing other kinds of businesses that, again, we would just plug in as new modules for whatever new kind of business you wanted to do. We could create the infrastructure for doing that. Now, you'd still have to, if you had a business that, say, required some place that you had to go, rent a building somewhere or buy a building somewhere and actually use the building, we do have modules that would handle the paperwork for that or help you manage the paperwork for that. But, obviously the internet's not going to be the building itself, but it can handle all that paperwork and all that infrastructure that you would otherwise have to go do. We could do a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier. So that's just a brief overview of what all's here. If you want to go through in more detail, and if this is something that you're interested in checking out, then you can go to, let me switch back to the other presentation. And you can go to the following URL and be able to get, you want to go to conversationsintocorporations.com, and you can fill out the form there and take over. And at that point, you will be set up as the president of the association. You could be, just answer some questions on the form, and you will find out for yourself what I'm talking about. You'll be able to go through, create your own infrastructure, test it out, demo it, use it, play with it, until, there is a limited time. You'll have about 48 hours or 72 hours, somewhere thereabouts, to play with it and test it. In which case, then the question will be whether you want to make it real and permanent, or whether you just want us to hit delete and move on with something else. We only want to deal with people of action who truly want to make a positive impact and get their ideas out into the world. And with the system, while the system can be used to create any kind of business, we're focused on trade associations, because you can go from the e-course and the e-books and that kind of stuff to home study course, get sponsors for it, create the trade association with the members and different membership levels, and then go to a trade show. And yes, all that stuff, for being able to do all of that, is built into the system that I just demonstrated for you, and that you'll be able to go play. So while there's a number of reasons for this, including the fact that people like to belong, sometimes people will pay you just because they like being a card-carrying member of whatever that the group is that you filled out, or that you created. So if you change their perception of who they are and their identity, then they're much likely to remain a good quality customer for a long, long time. If you're a member of something and it's a real group, then you're much less likely to bail out after a short period of time, like a lot of these membership sites get. People that are interested in a particular topic that your ideas and experience relate to, you could read a newspaper article or watch something on TV and create a book. You could, not just create a book, but create a group for that. You could create a fan club for your favorite TV shows, movies, authors, artists, musicians, any of that stuff. All those people that are interested, you gather those people together that are interested in that same topic, and it makes it easy for us to package your ideas and experiences into products that people want, and they want to pay for it, like an online course, a home study course. Other companies will pay you for sponsorship opportunities that they can get access to the group that you form. They'll pay you for association memberships, attendance at the association's trade show, lots and lots of other things. Plus, by starting this way, we don't have to incur a lot of upfront expenses like inventory, tooling, development costs, real estate, budget. There's no legal, other than filing for the corporation, there's no other legal restrictions and stuff that we have to go through that you would get with other businesses. So we're pretty much on a fast path to profitability pretty much from day one. How many different customers would it take, or how many different members would it take before your whole business is actually profitable? And the answer is not that many. You'd be very surprised, actually. Also, we can start out small, quickly find out what the market really wants, change and adapt accordingly, and how to give it to them, and scale up as fast and as big as we want. Some of the most valuable organizations, started, like, for instance, I know about the AARP, American Association of Retired Persons. It's a very powerful political organization now. Started because the life insurance company wanted to have a group of people that they could market their life insurance to that wouldn't be able to say no. In other words, the group wouldn't be able to say no that they couldn't market their life insurance to. So they started the whole separate organization of the AARP, and it's grown to be where I think the organization now is even bigger than the life insurance company. So you could scale that up pretty quickly as well as big as you want. A business we're starting is based around the idea of finding people who are interested in a particular topic. So those you could find all over the internet. You could find them offline as well. Gathering together into an association, society, club, or something of that sort. Providing them with information and products that they can use, as well as ways they can interact with us and each other for mutual benefit. You, of course, because of your idea and your experience, get to be the president of the association. And if you'd rather not be president and have somebody else be president, we can put somebody else in as well. But otherwise, since it's your idea, you get to be president. You get credit for being the co-author of the book, the course, the other material, the information products that we create, because in your answers to the questions, that's your content, that's your material. And then when the association turns around and offers it, you get credit. And then not only getting credit, but you get royalties. And you have the option, as we talked about, of participating or not in as much of the activities of the association as you want. So people could be getting together and you could be there as the president, or they could arrange for meetups and stuff offline, and you don't have to show up for them. They're still part of your group, and you're still the president, but that doesn't mean you have to show up for everything. You could jump in and be in the thick of things, or you could just sit on the sidelines and watch and let our team take over and handle it all for you. Either way, it's up to you. The business is designed to be run on its own, leaving you to participate freely however you see fit. Again, you could be right in the middle of it, or you could walk away for a few months and it wouldn't matter, because the business would keep going even if you're not there. So thank you for your time. Again, that the URL is conversationsintocorporations.com. I'll pull that up on the screen here. And if you put in T. Allen Haynes as the referral person, then he would appreciate it, and that would be great. So I'm turning it back over to you, Tracy.
Oh, that's awesome, man. Thanks for going through that with us. You have eliminated lots of steps into one action. So just to be clear, this Conversations into Corporations is they're going to be able to go there and actually build this system. Is that correct?
That's correct. They will be able to build their own infrastructure for their own association, fan club, trade group, whatever they want to call it.
So, people that are watching this video are experts. So you've got someone who is, let's say they're an expert in bullying, let's say. So they would go to conversationsintocorporations.com and they would answer the questions based on their expertise. And after 5 minutes, they push the submit button and they have all that content generated for them. Is that correct?
That's correct. It's generated for them, and it's generated with their answers interpolated into the important places. So instead of my name showing up everywhere, it's going to be their name showing up. Instead of profit streams, it would be, turn your bullies into lifelong friends. And instead of profit streams, it would be friends everywhere. Lifelong friends, or whatever they put in, that's what's going to show up. And when they get to the part about answering the longer questions, it might take a bit more than 5 minutes to think about and to answer. Those questions are going to be the ones that get incorporated into the book and the e-course that we create for them as well.
So to monetize this, they would set up a membership fee of some sort?
Yeah, so to monetize this, actually it would create a membership fee, and we can use a standard one that we already have, or they can say, no, we want to adjust that to whatever numbers they want to adjust it to, and they can do that. It'll also create an ebook for them that will be, can be marketed and sold. And again, we can, also one thing I forgot to mention, when they go try out the demo right now, they can try it out for free and it'll create the online infrastructure for them. What it does not do at this point, though, is it does not go ahead and do any registration at any third-party places. So, for instance, it doesn't actually file the incorporation papers with the state. It doesn't set up the relationship with the payment processor. So, it may show a PayPal button there, but there's no PayPal account that's linked to at this point. It doesn't get the EIN from the IRS or any of those other things that need to be done for it to be a legitimate, full-blown business, because, I set this up so that they can go try out what we have for the infrastructure to start with. Then if they decide to keep it and make it permanent, yes, we do have a fee that we charge, but it's very, very reasonable. And when you get to the part down below where it says, click here to keep this or to order, you'll get to see what those fees are. And as you'll see, they're extremely reasonable. It's at that point, once they pay that initial retainer fee, that we go ahead and then set up all those third-party relationships and all those third-party accounts, and make sure so that when somebody clicks through on the payment button, it actually goes through and processes the payment, accepts their credit card, and pays. It takes care of all that stuff for them on the back end, so that yes, they would be registered with the state. Yes, they would be have an EIN number from the IRS. They would be legitimate and legal and completely set up in every way that they need to be. Does that answer some more questions on that?
Yeah, that's incredible. So somebody at the end of this presentation, they go to this conversationsintocorporations.com, they fill out their information, they hit the button, they get all this content and things made for them, and they like it, and they decide they want to keep it. So they hit the PayPal button, and then what would happen after that? Is there any more fine-tuning or tweaking after that, or what would be the next step?
Yeah, the next step after that is then we would contact them to make sure that everything is the way they want it. In other words, if they want first we would contact them, make sure everything's the way they want it. So if they have any questions, we would answer whatever questions. If they have things that they wish they could have fixed or written a little differently, and we can help them write that and tweak the wordsmithing there a bit. Again, we'll make sure we get the information that we need to be able to set up all the third-party registrations that we need to do, all the third-party accounts. And then they're good to go. And they can, just run with it. And it'll be live and useful and a real business, legitimate business that they can start sending people to.
So it even shows you and tells you how to market it, right? It even tells you this is your first step,
yep.
Things like that, right?
Yep, it does take them step by step through some of the marketing that they can do to get it up and going.
Amazing. So if somebody is kind of between, they've already put in their information, they've already got the content that it generated. If someone has some questions before they actually hit the button, what would they do? Can they reach out and ask those questions?
Yeah, there's a link in there that they'll click on to contact us directly. And there's also a phone number. My phone number is in there. So they could call me, or they could email me, or they could post to the site. But yeah, they can get their questions answered, because we're here to help them be successful however we can.
Awesome. Well, I think it's a great tool, and I think it's a great opportunity for entrepreneurs and experts to really jump ahead and leap forward in establishing their businesses. So thank you very much for the presentation.
Oh, you're welcome. One other thing I wanted to mention, just in case somebody's wondering about it or thinking about it, is that one of the other reasons why we picked associations and groups to focus on to start with, and creating the e-books and the e-courses and that kind of stuff, the information products, is because you don't have to worry about competition. With a lot of places or a lot of things, you got to worry about the competition. Oh, what's the competition going to do? And if they do this or they do that. In this case, you don't really have to worry about competition, because people that are interested in a particular topic, they don't buy just one book on the topic. They buy every book they can get their hands on about the topic.
Mm.
They don't go watch one video about the topic. They go watch every video they can see about the topic. They don't join just one group. They join lots of different groups if that's easy and available for them. So, in this case, you don't have to worry about the competition, first of all, because, people, your target audience, if they're interested in your particular topic, they're going to be joining your group, and they may join 3 other groups. It doesn't matter. The other thing, too, is that you can co-opt the competition. You remember when I was talking about showing the marketplace part? Well, you could take the competition's products and add them to your marketplace. And if they have an affiliate commission program, great. If not, you could actually sell them at cost or even over cost, because you could add your own bonuses. If they buy your competition's product, you'll give them a bonus. If they buy it from you, you'll give them a bonus. You'll give the person a bonus. And there's ways you can actually make a profit off of your competition's product. And we show you how to do that in the system itself. There's some documentation on how to do that. So you can actually make a profit off the competition, which, you don't have to worry about them. You could just profit from them. So
Nice.
if that's something people were worried about, and one other thing people often ask me about is they want to protect their idea. Mm-hmm. And they think they need to go get a patent. And we do have a place where an ability you can follow and fill out another simple form, and it'll create the whole patent application for you. But they think they have to go get everything protected. And the problem is that they don't actually understand the way intellectual property really works, and in that it's not the things that are held close to the vest and protected that are the ones that are most valuable. It's the ones that are got out there with your name on it, whether it's right or wrong or whatever. Your name on it out there gets you publicity, which then makes that item profitable. So the question is, would you rather have things protected or would you rather have them profitable? Because like I was just telling about, co-opting the competition, hey, if somebody wants to take my idea, go out there and resell it, and I collect my profit on it, and they're going and reselling my idea, all they're doing is increasing the market for my business and increasing the market for my product and handing me more profit. So I don't need to protect it. I'd rather partner with people and, like I said, co-opt the competition and get the stuff out there and make a profit from it than, try to keep it all to myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's all the mindset where people want to, I got to keep this close to my chest, and I don't want people, copying it or stealing it. And it's actually the opposite, just as you explained. And I love the story where you told me when we first met about Excel and what was that other company?
Oh yeah, there was one with Lotus where people were copying. Yeah, with Lotus where they were distributing. The story was that they distributed 50,000 copies of one of their programs, and then they became the industry standard, but they had to do a recall on those 50,000 copies because they had a problem, and they got 80,000 copies back. Or Excel and Microsoft, they made a huge. Part of the reason why they became so powerful and important was because of people doing SneakerNet, where they would copy a copy of Excel or they'd copy a copy of Word so that they could open up the spreadsheet or they could open up the document that they were reading. And then when Microsoft came out with the next version, rather than having to go find somebody who had the version and, copy it from them, they just went out and bought their own copy of the new version. And so Microsoft became the standard for a lot of that stuff simply because people could easily copy it. Or then there's a story of Eli Whitney where, he made a fortune off the cotton gin, and then lost most of that fortune successfully defending his patents on the cotton gin. Decided enough of that nonsense, because he would sue somebody for infringing on his patents, and then they would tell him, "Oh, we're bankrupt because we had to fight the lawsuit," and then they go out and start doing the same thing with a different name of a different company, and you have to start the whole process all over again. So he might win the lawsuit, but he wouldn't collect any money from it. He'd have to still pay travel costs and court costs and attorney costs and all that kind of stuff. So he took his next great idea, went out, applied it, made a fortune from it, didn't bother to protect it, didn't bother to patent it, didn't worry about whether or not anybody stole it. And people, manufacturers now, every manufacturer on the planet uses his concept of interchangeable parts for doing their manufacturing. And he got to keep his second fortune because he didn't worry about trying to protect it. He just went out and applied it and made it work and made a fortune. So people now, they can take this idea, and that's part of the reason why, even though I've spent, countless hours pouring into building this software, I can say, here, go try it now for free. And even if someone were to, go try it for free and download everything that they could download and try to copy everything they could copy, there's so much going on the back end of that it's going to take them a whole lot longer just to try and integrate the pieces that they can download without my system than it would be just to use the system the way it's built. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. So you should be racing to conversationsintocorporations.com, build out your system, answer the questions, and we look forward to your amazement and what you find on the other end. So this cuts years and costs off of your content creation and your business setup. So thanks again for joining us. Thank you, Donald, for the presentation. We truly appreciate it. And we look forward to the next conversation.
You're welcome, and thank you. And maybe the next conversation turns into yet another corporation.
Absolutely. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Make sure you click on the link below and enter your information so you can create your conversations into corporations. This is T. Allen Haynes. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.